Welcome back, everyone. Today we are doing part 5 of our quantum comparison stocks. So we are comparing the top quantum stocks on the market right now. In part 1, we covered the metrics that we are using, but in part 4, I did change the metrics a little bit. So I added coherence time. So we will be comparing the technology and also covering some of the stock information as well. So stick around and let's dive right in. Okay, so jumping right in, we have Quantinuum as a new addition for part 5, and they do have a qubit count of 56 with a gate fidelity average of 99.9335%. And the way I got that number, and similar to how I did the other ones, I pretty much added these two up for their 1 quantum gate and 2 quantum gate fidelity, and I divided that and averaged that out, and that's how I got this number right here. And for Quantinuum, their 1 quantum gate fidelity is 99.997%, which is actually the highest in this comparison. The next one in line is 99.98, which is IONQ. Third, we have Alphabet with their Willow quantum computer, and they are at 99.964%. Their 2 quantum gate fidelity is 99.87%, and IBM is the highest at 99.89%. The other ones, Rigetti is one of the lower ones on this comparison, and D-Wave, they just didn't really provide a number, so I don't have any values for them. They have a quantum volume of 2 million, or 2 to the power of 21, which is one of the highest in this comparison. So if I switch this around really quick, and I'll make this one green. For their error rate, it's also one of the lowest. So for the first error rate number here, 0.003, I used the 1 quantum gate since it's the highest. And then for the second one, 0.046, I'm using the average to calculate that. So this is the lowest error rates as well. So I'm switching that over here. So I'll just make these yellow. So that's how I just kind of help differentiate which quantum stock is performing better than the rest. Coherence time, I think this is the number that actually matters the most, because coherence time is how long the quantum qubits can hold their shape and without decaying. After reading some of the articles that Quantinuum pushed out, it is definitely one of the better ones because it's greater than 1 hour right now. I did end up using the Google Assistant to find the number because I could not find it on their website. I clicked everywhere. I even searched through all their research articles. I actually found this as well. Their quantum computer is called the H1 and the H2. This is the H2 data sheet, and they have the information for you here. So I am talking about their H2 system in this comparison. So they have 56, connectivity all to all, parallel to qubit operations is 4, and they break it down here as well. And their measurement error is also pretty low compared to the other stocks. But going back to the coherence time, it is right now greater than an hour for single ion qubits. So that is actually one of the better metrics to follow, because the longer the coherence time, the more active these qubits are becoming. So the more I do these videos, the more I'm realizing that there's so much competition out there. Initially on part 4, I realized that IONQ had a really good coherence time because it was at 10 to 100 seconds, because these other ones are at microseconds. So for example, D-Wave has a 100 microsecond coherence time. The best one before then was IBM with 188 microseconds. But now, as I am doing this video, I'm realizing that Quantinuum has a coherence time of greater than 1 hour, which beats the rest of these by large margins. So I am bullish with Quantinuum, but the thing is, Quantinuum is an individual company. It's its own separate company, but Honeywell actually owns 56% of that stock. So let me find that article. So I'm on Honeywell's webpage, and they talk about Quantinuum. So just things to know about Quantinuum. And number 5 here, Honeywell is an owner, investor, supplier, and customer of Quantinuum. Though Quantinuum is a standalone company, Honeywell is initially the largest shareholder with an approximate 54% ownership stake of the new entity. It has invested nearly $300 million, allowing the company to be well capitalized on day one. Honeywell's aerospace foundry in Plymouth, Minnesota will continue to provide manufacturing support for Quantinuum's proprietary ion traps, which sits at the heart of the company's trapped ion quantum computers. The other company that's using trapped ion computers is IONQ. It kind of shows that trapped ions are doing pretty well because IONQ is the second top quantum stock on this comparison. After visualizing all these numbers, I can tell that IONQ is the second best one because it is a pure play company for quantum computers. So that's why I like IONQ as well. Quantinuum right now, unfortunately, we cannot invest in it because it is still private. If they ever do a fundraising event one day, because I do use Star Engine as well. Star Engine is a company that allows you to invest in private companies, assuming that they let common investors invest into it, because you usually have to be an accredited investor. So that's why I am waiting to see what will happen. Maybe they will go public and hopefully we can buy in at that time. Their median readout error is 0.002%, actually one of the best as well. I just realized I haven't really changed some of these numbers over, so I'm doing that right now really quick. Quantinuum, as you can tell, it's getting a lot of green on its side. For quantum advantage, this one is more of a qualitative opinion, and I think it does have a quantum advantage in the market right now because of all these numbers that they're providing to us. Research and development investments, I read somewhere that they invested $625 million for their patents. They have 108 patents globally. Collaborations, they are collaborating with Microsoft. Market penetration, I would say high for Quantinuum because they also have the backing of Honeywell. So I do have high hopes for them. Trailing 12 months, so this is going into the stock. So for this stock specifically, I am using Honeywell because finding the financials for a private company are actually really hard. So I am using Honeywell in this instance because they are backing Quantinuum. So the trailing 12-month revenue is 37 billion, EPS growth at -4%. And I found this information on Fidelity Investments. So it's not my own opinion. It's just I'm using that data to compare these ones. Price to book, 8.71%. Profit margin is 14%. Total debt to capital is actually the second highest on this list. IBM has 71%. And Honeywell has 62%. And their type of quantum, they are using trapped ions similar to IONQ. Institutional ownership, actually Fidelity Investments didn't have a value, so I just left that blank. Their Q3 earnings estimates and their actual reported was 2.5 estimated, and their actual was 2.58. Their product is called the H2. The most accurate one right now is their H1, but it has less physical qubits, with 20 being their number. For algorithmic qubits, I put 56 because they are using similar technologies such as IONQ, so I pretty much just copied their physical qubits and their algorithmic qubits right here. Qubit connectivity, they say all-to-all, and it was incorporated back in 1906, so this is Honeywell. Their current price right now is 225. Their 52-week high is 242, and their lowest for 52-week is 189, and they have 95,000 employees globally. Market capitalization is 146 billion, and PE is currently at 25. All in all, quantum is still very risky because it's still at a very early stage. So they have a lot to prove still in order to actually have a working product. And maybe one day they will be able to mimic how a protein functions with drug development, or they have those levels of optimization that they can perform with their computers. But as of right now, though, there still is a lot of risk. I do think that all the stocks right now are overhyped, including Rigetti, pretty much all of these ones on the list. I did end up selling some shares for profit, but I did keep 1/3 of each stock that I have. So right now I still have Rigetti, but I did secure profits with 1200% increase. IONQ, it was around 800% increase. D-Wave, I am just holding D-Wave right now, but I do have shares. Alphabet, I've always just kind of had Google because Google is a good stock to own because of its involvement with AI, the Google search engine, and so many other things. IBM, it is a newer ad. Back then, I used to own it, but now I definitely am including it more because of the quantum research that they have. Quantinuum, I don't have any Honeywell stocks right now, but after this video or after doing the research for this video, I am considering opening a position. So my top recommendations right now is definitely Quantinuum, owned by Honeywell. So definitely following Honeywell and their financials and their earnings reports will be important. The one pure play company that I do like is IONQ. After that, I have probably Alphabet at number 3 because of its financials, and definitely Rigetti after that. So those will be my top 4 in that order. So Quantinuum, owned by Honeywell, IONQ, Willow with Google, and then Rigetti. Thank you for watching this video. It really does mean a lot for the channel. It does help us grow. Make sure to like it as well. Make sure you share and leave a comment on the section below letting me know what you think about the quantum sector. Do you think it's overhyped? Are you actually selling? Are you buying? Did you find any news that were relevant? Please let me know. And I do hope to see you on the next one. And thank you again. See ya.